Hi everyone, Gianni Di Poce here with you for TheoTrade, and today is Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. Taking a look at the market here, we're up slightly on the day, have faded off the session highs, but are well off the session lows as well. Markets still anticipating a couple of important headlines this week. Of course, you have Nvidia earnings coming out tomorrow, in addition to another inflation report that could be consequential for the bond market. I'll get on that note in just a moment. But you are seeing the NASDAQ outperform to the upside here today. You did make a new low, taking out last week's low yesterday. The Dow did not make a new low. It is not outperforming the NASDAQ today so far. That is a pretty good sign, if I do say so myself. Russell 2000 hanging in there, up 0.25%. The big question is now is whether we just slowly corrected through time, or if we've just been consolidating the losses before one more dip to the downside, and then that ends up being the low. But overall, the market posturing does remain very strong and in favor of the bulls. We have not seen any sort of lower low or lower high, and that means that the uptrend remains intact. Take a look at semiconductors. They are outperforming on the day. A couple other names like Advanced Micro Devices and Broadcom trying to find their footing. But of course, all eyes are on Nvidia right now. Nvidia really has not done all that much since last summer. So it's been underperforming the broader semiconductor space now for over a year. And, now that we've had, the first up day in, what was that, 6 down days in a row, one cannot help but ask if that was a pre-earnings capitulation of the sort. So a couple gaps here, they've been filled. You still got that gap down, even got that gap down from May 14th. So time will tell as to whether that actually gets filled. The mega cap tech names holding up all right. Nothing really spectacular coming out of those at the moment. The bigger play that we've been discussing has been software. That's been materializing. It is lagging a little bit today, but Palantir and Microsoft have done most of the heavy lifting amongst the mega cap tech space in recent weeks. And then, of course, checking in on SpaceX, looks like you're trying to carve out another higher low there. So, near term, it's all eyes on Nvidia. And of course, on the note of software, have a position in Salesforce. That's going to be having its earnings report tomorrow. Interested to see how that plays out. Even if you were to gap down, I don't think it would change much of the bullish picture as long as you're holding above 180, 185. If you get an upside surprise, then so be it. But, the way I approach earnings is that one trade never makes or breaks my account. So I don't sell because of earnings, but I also don't like to tempt fate and buy, in anticipation the day of earnings of a particular move or outcome. So I just try to, just be at peace with whatever outcome it's going to be. My position sizing, my risk management kind of carries me through that. And I actually don't hedge them that much. But, I do want to shift gears for a moment here and talk a little bit about bonds. We'll touch on stocks a little bit more because we just rolled over to the December contract in futures, and you can see a nice bid coming through into the 30-year bonds. And as I look at this chart, this looks ripe for a squeeze. So you have massive short positioning in bonds. You have commercial hedgers, commercial traders actually building on some long positions. You have crude oil still in backwardation, finally seeing some downside action. I've been looking for this for a few trading sessions, and I would love to see it maybe go out, at the end of the month by Monday's close around $75 a barrel. We'll see if that actually plays out. But you got crude oil in backwardation going into April, May of next year. You have a huge short position that is in effect in 10-year Treasury notes. And you have Scott Bessent and company intervening into the bond markets. And so let's rewind the clock about 10 years. And it was a really common market mantra in the 2010s during the era of QE to say, don't fight the Fed. Don't fight the Fed. Well, the Fed is not doing anything right now, but the Treasury is. And these are important actions designed to add more liquidity to the long end of the curve. Really not all that different from QE. So here I am saying, instead of not fighting the Fed, in 2026, don't fight the Treasury. Don't fight the Treasury because you are going to get hurt. And so I think Bessent's been trying to buy time with all these interventions, whether it's in the dollar yen, whether it's in the current the bond market, doesn't matter. The backwardation in oil is pointing to lower oil prices down the line. Whether that's starting now or starting later is irrelevant. We do have the conditions for a big squeeze in bonds that would likely coincide with a lower dollar and lower oil prices, which is music to the ears of stock market bulls. You can see here, dollar is up slightly against the Japanese yen, not making a new high. The dollar is down against the euro here today. So we're seeing that correlation play out once again. And that correlation is one where the dollar and oil are positively correlated. You can even throw interest rates into that mix too. So we're not going to have a financial crisis as long as the dollar is tamed. If you saw the dollar start ripping, I'd be singing a much different tune, but you're not. And so this even tells you that there are opportunities abroad, whether it's in Europe, whether it's emerging markets. I'm even watching China for some potential opportunities. In fact, I think some of this AI political backlash could end up being a catalyst for the Chinese tech trade to make a comeback. Because guess what, guys? Love AI data centers or hate AI data centers doesn't matter. Data centers are going to get built. They're going to get built with America or without America, and whether we like it or not. And so maybe this is a catalyst to get the Chinese market back moving again. We've been talking about how biotech stands to be a major beneficiary from artificial intelligence as well. In fact, I actually closed out the rest of my long position on Amylyx Pharmaceuticals last week, booking over 100%, 107% gain on the second half of the position. Closed that out on Friday. So I like what I'm seeing in biotech. Still a lot of good setups. Healthcare, that's kind of the silver lining for healthcare right now. It was the strongest performing sector last week. And normally that would be a bit of a cautionary signal, but biotech outperforming is not exactly a risk off signal. So, the proof is kind of in the pudding there. Other markets I'm watching, I think this macro environment is absolutely ripe for precious metals to continue higher. So I'm liking what I see on that front. Have that position in the trade desk on Pan American Silver, more than recovered all of its losses from the post earnings gap down. Talked about some other setups in this sector today that I am watching. And then, of course, crypto. Crypto came alive last week. And, this was pretty significant because we've been talking about the asymmetric risk reward favoring the upside in crypto. You had the conditions for a bottom being complete. You have dollar weakness. You had software leading to the upside. And, we actually benefited quite a bit from this move in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And what actually has my attention the most right now is how both Solana and Ethereum have taken out their highs from May before Bitcoin has. And also, it's worth noting how Ethereum formed its low in June, whereas Bitcoin formed its low in July. That tells me that the DeFi coins are more likely to outperform in this cycle. I do think you have a pretty strong case for an alt season to play out. So I like what I'm seeing on that front. I think this is a trend that is very much in its early stages. It speaks well to the risk on environment that we're actually in. But, we need to see follow through from tech. So, tech is actually neck and neck with healthcare right now in terms of the best performing sector of the day. And it really just comes back down to the NASDAQ. Can the NASDAQ finally follow through? I'm looking at Nvidia so closely because it has the potential to provide a catalyst for tech to resume its outperformance, because right now, energy's been leading. It's the top performer year to date and over the last 12 months. It's not exactly the best environment for tech to do well. So tech has an opportunity this week. I'm looking squarely at Nvidia. I still like software, and I still see the burden of proof being on the bears. We've not made any lower lows or lower high, guys. So remember, the trend is your friend, at least until the trend ends. That's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you inside the trade desk.